morning. It's Sunday, February 26th. And today I want to tell you another story about how we do things in this country and we end up with what I believe is the wrong result. There have been many individuals in this country who have done great things but have been removed from the public view because the vision of those people who want them removed is twisted. Such a person was very famous for many, many years, and she appeared on the box of many, many pancake mixes. And she was a household word, but she was a black woman, and for some reason people believed that because she was a black woman, they were taking advantage of her. And I'm talking about Aunt Jemima, whose picture was on all kinds of pancake mixes and kitchen things. And she was a great woman and did very extraordinary things during her life. But we removed her because there were many in their minds that believed that she was a maid, an underling, and didn't belong in a place where she could be viewed. They believed that many got the wrong image of the blacks because of Aunt Jemima's picture on those boxes. Instead of telling the world that she was a great person and her accomplishments were outstanding in a situation where many failed. This was a woman of consequence and should not have been removed from the public view simply because those people had the wrong impression of her image on the pancake boxes. Do your homework, people, before you go ahead and elect to remove somebody. Because her story should have been told. Her story is uplifting. It's a major effort in this country. She should have been viewed as a heroic person. So this heroic person was erased from history by a bunch of idiots. So let me tell you her story. This is a woman who had many gifts and many talents. And the branding of her syrup was a tribute to those gifts and talents, not a disgrace in any way, shape, or form. Now, this action that was taken will deprive future generations of the knowledge of this beautiful woman. They will not even know that this beautiful woman existed. And that's a shame. That is a blight on our society. Because Aunt Jemima should have stood out as an example of the things that people can accomplish, even though when they start out lives as an underdog, so to speak. Now the world knew her as Aunt Jemima, but her real name was Nancy Green, and she was a true American success story. No question about it. This is a major success story that should be told over and over and over again. She was born a slave in 1834 in Montgomery County, Kentucky, and she became a wealthy superstar in the advertising world. She was the advertising world's first living trademark. Think about that. She was the first living trademark. Now, many people who look at those boxes in those days didn't realize that she was a real person, a real-life person who struggled early but came out on top. Now, she was 56 years old when she was selected as the spokesperson for the new ready-mixed self-rising pancake flour, and she made her debut in 1893 at a fair and exposition in Chicago. She demonstrated the pancake mix and served thousands of pancakes, and she became an immediate star. This woman had a personality, had the inner self to project herself and be respected by all kinds of people in a time when that was not usual for a person who was black. And we see now on television the influx of black comedians and black announcers and black stars. We have never seen this amount of blacks shown to audiences ever. But she was the first. And she was a good storyteller. Her personality was warm and appealing, and her showmanship was exceptional. It must have been exceptional for somebody at that time frame and that period to come that far, that fast, right? Her exhibition booth was so crowded and had so many crowds coming every day that they had to put personal guards in front of her booth to maintain crowd control. And Nancy Green, that was her real name as I said before, was given a lifetime contract by the owners of Aunt Jemima products, right? And she traveled on promotional tours all over the country, and she was extremely well paid for her services. Her financial freedom and her financial stature, right? And because she had this financial freedom, and she had stature as a national personality, it enabled her to become a leading advocate against poverty and in favor of equal rights for all Americans. So this was just not a cooking personality that was invented. She went out and did good things with her life. And she stayed on the job until she was 89 years old, when she died in 1923. So this was a remarkable woman, a tremendous woman, whose image should be continued to be honored in this country. But no, her image has been erased by politics, the politics of idiots, the politics of people who are afraid because they don't want the story told, or they think that because she appeared on a cereal box or a pancake box, that was downgraded. So they don't know her background. The people who erased her didn't know her background. And that was a disgrace. They should have been out there pointing their finger at this woman and saying, she did great things and she rose above what was expected of her generation. And that's the story that really should have been told, instead of erasing her figure from the pancake mixes. Another deed of stupidity in this country. So it's time that we canceled the culture forces. It's time we canceled the way people look at things without knowing the truth. So I leave you with that this morning, and I hope I enlightened your day. Bye.